Well, ho, 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 and hello, and welcome to a very special episode number 9 of the John Dulong Show on this Christmas morning. Hope you're having a wonderful Christmas day, regardless of whether or not you celebrate. Hope that Santa found you, if Santa's coming to your house. And all in all, I hope that you're having a really happy and healthy holiday time. So, like I say, it's this Christmas episode, so it's not going to be the normal John Dulong Show fare here today, of course. We're going to do some Christmas-related stuff, some Christmas-related activities. Also going to give my sort of annual holiday message, which is something I started doing a few years ago on Facebook, started posting something, usually just before... or just on New Year's Eve, but of course this is the last pod before New Year's Eve itself, so I'm going to give my usual New Year's Eve message on the podcast today. In case you're wondering where the music came from this week, of course I'm not doing the normal Mon Plaisir stuff that is normally on the show. The music that you're going to hear today is actually from the United States Marine Band. And because they're a sort of a branch of the United States government, their stuff is all in the public domain, which means it's free, which means I can put it on this show and not have to worry about paying anybody, which is really good for me because this is, something I'm doing on the cheap as possibly can be cheaped. We're going to get all the normal podcast nonsense out of the way here up top. Just remind you can follow me on Twitter at Gibberdy, Jiberdy. That's also my Instagram. You can follow the show at facebook.com/The John Dulong Show, and you can get the show on iTunes and Google Play. Rate and review on iTunes, and this show gets out to more people. Hoping in the new year that we can start bringing in more listeners. I've been really, like I say, really thankful for each and every one of you listening, for the feedback that I've gotten on the show. People listen to it and they seem to really enjoy it, which has been just overwhelming, I guess is the best way to put it. Overwhelmed absolutely every single week. I try not to obsess too much over the stats on the show, but just, we're going to come to episode number 10 in the new year. The first episode of the new year will be episode number 10. And just to have the followers that I have on this show, to have the consistent listenership that I do have this early on in the run of the show, has been really great, and I really, really appreciate it. I know that it's been, a bit rough at times. I kind of started this show as a sort of just do it kind of mentality, and to have so many people just sort of bearing with me as I get my feet underneath of me has been really, really gratifying, I guess. And like I say, I joke around about, I'm just doing this as a giant ego trip, and that you guys are stroking my ego every single week. It's all of that's just sort of a joke to downplay the fact that, I am truly and honestly humbled by the response that I get to this show. So anyhow, we're going to get into, as I said, some Christmas-related content first up, and then we'll get into that holiday message, and then I'll let you go and get to your turkeys. Maybe you're listening to this after turkey, though. Maybe you're over it with the family. I understand. You can only take so much, and you need to get away. I know that whenever I was a kid, you do the family Christmas thing, but by the time like noon rolls around, it's just like I gotta go to my room and just not be around people for a little while. And I'm an extrovert. That's the word. I'm an extroverted person. I'm an outgoing person. There we go. I combined two words there. But once all the excitement wears down from Christmas, sometimes you just want to go off into a corner and play for a little bit before you go back. A lot of great memories about Christmas, actually. We always used to go to visit my mom's family in New Brunswick when we were kids, and you'd get up in the morning and do the Christmas thing and, do all the presents, and then you'd have breakfast or brunch or whatever. And after you're done the stockings and I remember I always have a lot of really great memories of just like me and my younger sister passing out gifts to everybody, because you'd get through this you'd get through your own gifts as a kid, because that Christmas is kind of for the kids more than it is for anybody else, and then the adults have these like piles of gifts that they're working through, and you're kind of waiting for the adults to get to your gift because you kind of want to see that, and you're excited for that, and like they just seem to take forever to get through their presents. It's just like, come on, guys, like move it on. We don't need to save the wrapping paper. Rip that stuff. Come on, let's do it. Move it. Come on. Anyhow, just a little, I don't know, Christmas memory from me there. Anyhow, we're gonna play some music. You're hearing some music now. A little Way in a Manger. No Crib for a Bed. Get into the Christmas message, I guess is the best way to put it, right after this. 'Twas the night before Christmas, when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. Mamma in her kerchief and I in my cap had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap, when out on the lawn there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new-fallen snow gave the luster of midday to objects below, when what to my wandering eyes should appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer, with a little old driver so lively and quick I knew in a moment it must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name, now Dasher, now Dancer, now Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donder and Blitzen. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall, now dash away, dash away, dash away all. As dry leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with sleighs full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then, in a twinkling, I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled! His dimples, how merry! His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow. The beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke it encircled his head like a wreath. He had a broad face and a little round belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, and then turned with a jerk, and laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim, ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night." Thanks for indulging me on that one, guys. One of my favorites of all time. Like I said, we're going to keep this one short today because I know you've got more important things on the go. Next up is my holiday message. I'll start with a cliche. The holidays are a wonderful time of year. Okay, that might be a little bit trite, but I really love the symbolism of taking the darkest time of year and filling it with light and happiness. I love that we choose to get together at this time of year and decide that, the hell with it, we're going to be happy and joyous, and in spite of everything, we're going to try and imbue a bit of magic into what could otherwise be an incredibly dreary time of year. I know, too,